Raymond R. Ray Ramos Coaching. Grateful to God for another day of life. I woke up this morning. I'm in London. I'm in Harrow. Woke up this morning and opened two gifts in my eyes. I stood in. I rested a little bit today. It's been an incredible week. A lot of powerful, wonderful things. A lot of spiritual warfare, and not everything is good. Highs and lows, ups and downs. Grateful, powerful, blessed week. So the sun is not shining today. It doesn't shine every day like it was the other day. It was beautiful. Some days it's raining. Some days the sun is shining. Some days there's storms. So I woke up, laid down and rested, listened to some Spanish worship music. I change it up every now and then so it doesn't become like a routine and a ritual. Routines and rituals play a significant role in many situations, in many ways, but it's good not to be stuck in a rut, in a ritual, in a routine that's not having an effect on me. So it needs to be effective. I need to be affected by it. So I had a great conversation with Param, my friend Param, and my friend Hodge, and had a great conversation with Travis, and Aaron, and a bunch of people, and it was about it was basically about leadership, recovery, spirituality, Christianity, practicing spiritual principles during difficult circumstances. That was more because we're human beings. I'm a human being, and I have emotions, and I have dirty, filthy, ungodly desires and thoughts, and there's a war between the flesh and the spirit. If you recovery, the disease against recovery, and something about basically it boils down to character, and that's why I put leadership. Leadership is not about a position. You can have a position and not have the influence and live in, a positional frustration. Leadership is influence. Leadership is about getting people, inspiring people, motivating people, encouraging people to move in a particular direction. And the difference between influence and manipulation is when I'm using my influence as a leader is not for my personal benefit. That's manipulation. Manipulation is when I use my influence for my personal benefit and not really concerned about how it impacts the individual. But leadership is influence, and getting people to go from A to B, helping them reach their goals, helping them take the next step, help them to envision more, see more, there's more for you, help them see the barriers, overcome the barriers. And so, but leadership is about character, because nobody's going to really allow you to lead them if they don't trust you. And nobody's going to trust you if you don't have integrity. And you're not going to have integrity if you don't have inner true values. We live I'm in recovery, I'm a Christian, I'm a 12-step remember, a lot of talk. I'm going to talk tonight. A lot. And speaking is great. I'm gifted, I'm passionate, I'm serious and committed and focused on. I know that somebody spoke and it impacted my life, and then somebody spoke and it impacted my life, and I heard a speaker speak and it impacted, and I know that God has used many different men and women to speak, and when they spoke, it impacted me, and my life changed, and I made a decision with the new information that they gave me and the hope that they demonstrated for me. If you see it, you can be it. And so, but it's about character. It's about internal character. It's about, having a bigger inside than I do an outside. A lot of people are big. They build these big outside lives, right? But they don't have a big inside life, and it comes crumbling down. Kingdoms, presidents. How many kingdoms have fallen behind, somebody's weak character? How many great leaders have fallen because of bad character? And I am not perfect, and I am not morally superior to anyone. That's inner strength that God allowed me and gave me, that I don't have to be better than nobody. I know I'm not better than nobody. I'm not in competition with nobody. If you win, I'm excited for you. I was talking to Eddie, my friend Eddie and Lewis in Puerto Rico, and they're winning, and I'm excited for them, and I'm blessed for them. And I talked to many people who are doing good at the convention, and before I was broken and weak on the inside. If you was winning, I felt like I was losing. Today, if you're winning, I'm excited. I'm encouraged. Yeah, you go, boy. You go, girl. you know? So I have this incredible relationship with God, a relationship with God, and He's been molding and shaping my character. Now, the problem about molding and shaping character, if you want really strong character, you got to go through very dark times. No one, I would have never chosen to go through the dark times I went through. I had to go through them, and if I'm going to go through them, I might as well go through them like a champion than a punk. And so God gave me the strength. It's not my own strength. God gave me the power. God gave me the wisdom. God gave me the examples. God gave me the people. God gave me the resources. God gave me the information. And God gave me the inner strength, the Holy Ghost Spirit, to actually apply spiritual principles. When part of me wanted to apply character defects, I want instant gratification. I like the easy, softer way. I like shortcuts. But that's why inner strength is important. The duality. I want to be a good man, but I want to act out. How does that work? I want to live in faith, but I feel fear. How does that work? I want to trust God, but I want to control it. How does that work? There's a duality that people don't understand, and the one that's stronger is going to win. Simple. Me and Param said, yeah, but what about, whatever's stronger. I could talk faith, talk faith, talk faith. I'm out here, talk faith, talk faith. But when it's time to live faith, we'll see what happens. And so I was talking to somebody, and they said when COVID hit, it was like March of 2020, or March 2020, whenever COVID hit, maybe earlier than that. But when it was really bad, I got March, and I did a sermon. I couldn't go anywhere. I did a sermon, and it was based out of James. And the sermon was "Count it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work, so that you can be mature, complete, not lacking anything." And that was my sermon, and it was having faith during the storm, something like that, riding the storm through faith, or just faith in the midst of the storm. And I was talking about, I'm not a science guy. I don't know nothing. I'm a faith guy. I know that God is going to get me through it. God is going to get us through it. God, or I'm gonna die and go to heaven. And I said that. I said, I don't know nothing, but I know I'm not gonna live like I don't have God. I'm not gonna live like I don't have principles. I'm not gonna live like I don't have faith. I have faith. God has proven Himself to me. God has been good. I've been through many pandemics, not COVID, but other. I've been through a lot of things, and God has always showed up, and God has been faithful, and God has showed up, and God has been. So I chose faith, and my faith was stronger than my fear. And some of my close friends, people I love dearly, their fear was stronger than their faith. Nothing against them. This is the reality of the circumstance. I had faith inside. Whatever the real true deal is inside of you, you're gonna be exposed. I've been exposed many times throughout my first 6 years of recovery. I was talking big talk, but I couldn't walk the walk until I found God. And then God gave me the power to live differently and grow and change the way I think and do some surgery on my soul. No, old ideas, old ways of thinking, old ideas are never going to open new doors. So I needed God. I needed people, a community of people who were going in that direction. I needed a leader that I can follow. And all that has its obstacles and hindrances. I don't want a community. I don't like this guy. This guy's an idiot. This guy talks too much. I don't like this guy. I don't like, everything. I don't want a leader. I don't want to follow nobody and, looking for flaws. And I don't like, his nationality. I don't like his culture. I don't like the way he dresses or whatever. I don't like the way he talks. The flesh, the enemy in my head is always trying to talk me out of doing the right thing. And that's why you need inner strength. If you don't got it on the inside, it's gonna show. Something's gonna happen. The enemy's gonna set you up. That's why we gotta keep on doing the work. That's why my pastor friend said, "Why do you still go to those meetings? Oh, you clean 34 years, over 30." I said, "Because I want to stay clean. I gotta continue to grow. It's not about the drugs. It's about recovery, change, ideas, attitudes, behaviors, issues, the past, lies, untrue beliefs, unhealthy beliefs. It's about arrogance and pride, learning to be humble, growing and so continue is a very important word. But leadership is about character. Either you and the people closest to you. When somebody asked me about success, where was I? I was in Pakistan. You guys know I'm going to Senegal, Africa. I go to Pakistan. I'm in London right now. I was in Idaho. I was in Tennessee this year. I was in Texas. I'm on the move. Somebody asked me in Pakistan, how do you define success in ministry? And that was a good question, because is it numbers? Is it having a big church? Is it having, a lot of leaders? Is it impacting the community? And I said a couple of things, but one of the things that I said, success to me in my personal life, in personal life, is when the people who know you the most, the closest people to you, when they know, the people that really, really, really know you the most, when they love you and respect you. Because they see your inner life. They see your core beliefs, your values, your principles. Are you a man of principles, or you're a guy who talks good when you're in public and live crazy when do you talk nice out there and you talk crazy in here? Do you act nice out there and crazy when you're at home? So if my wife and kids and those who know me, if they love and respect me the most, I'm successful. That's my inner life. You can't, you've heard the story. There's your resume, your resume, and there's your obituary. Right? Your obituary is really who you are. Your resume is when you want to show off. You want to, you want people to like you. You want people to, you're trying to get likes. Your resume self is not the one. It's your obituary self. And I was taught a long time ago when I had 6 years clean that I can choose what my obituary is going to say now and live it out. So when I die, it's written. Right? And then my man said, if you want to be a big shot, you want to be, like graffiti writers and nothing. I'm not coming against them, but you want to be known. You want your name to be ring bells. He said, tattoo your name on the hearts of your children. I was like, oh, that's legacy. I was like, dang, inner life, character, values, principles, true relationship with God, not entertaining, and I'm entertaining. I like to speak. I like to speak for life change. I want to engage people. I want them to laugh, cry, provoke them. When I'm big into speaking, but living is more important than speaking. How I live. And the people, they're gonna watch you. And I'm not perfect. I'm not, but I've grown into become a man that I never imagined I could be. So, and I'm not, what God did in my life, he can do in your life. I saw God do it in Pastor Adam's life. I said, I want that. I saw God do it in Pastor Ed's life. I want that. I saw Mark Marshak. I want that. I saw Denny Burns. I want that. I saw other pastors. I saw other men. I saw Richie C. I saw Jimmy T. I saw Sean G. I saw other men that God was doing stuff in, and I want that. If you see it, you can be it if you're willing to do what they did. And so, it's not easy changing. It's not easy making a left when you want to go right. It's not easy, shutting up when you want to say something. It's not easy keeping your hands to yourself when you want to reach out and touch somebody. Another man told me, everything is hard. Having your own business is hard. Working for someone else is hard. Being in full-time ministry is hard. Doing no ministry is hard. Giving money to charity is hard. Not giving money to charity is going to be hard. Like he said, well, you got to choose your heart. And I want my heart to be significant. I want my heart to be purposeful. I want my heart to be part of my destiny. I don't want my heart to be because I'm avoiding life, because I want good feelings. I'm gonna settle for good feelings now, and I'm gonna pay a high price for dumb instant gratification. I don't want to do that. I want to live life to the fullest. God didn't save me from the nightmares. I was drowning in an ocean of addiction, and there was sharks everywhere, and I was getting eaten alive. And God saved me from that nightmare of addiction, so I could serve Him, so I could make a difference in other people's lives. And that means I need to develop character. I need God to rewire my thinking. I need to be renewed. My mind needs to be brainwashed. I need brainwashing. I need to talk differently, think differently, so I can act differently, so I can feel differently. I want to be made like Christ. I want to be humble. I want to serve. I want to have integrity. I want to be meek. Meek is powerful. To be meek is to have power under control. I want to have discipline and self-control. I want to be able to control where my eyes go, what comes out of my mouth. I want to be a strong, mature man. I want to be a mature disciple of Jesus Christ. And be careful, because there's a high price to pay for that. Salvation is free. Discipleship is going to cost. And so I'm very grateful. Having good thoughts, praying, reading, listening, good conversations, serving. Was in the jail yesterday. Travis and Megan and Chelsea and Doug took time out of their schedule. They could have been in Paris, but they said, no, we're going to go to jail. They went to jail, went through this process, took the train, took a cab, to go in to speak for 15 minutes. All this time to speak for, God bless them. I remember Jimmy Jam, Elliot, Gil, coming out here for hours. They reminded me of Jimmy Jam, Elliot, and Gil. coming out here, going to all these prisons with Russell Neal. Russell Neal was a soldier, boy, driving these crazy Americans all over the place, 7, 8 hours together, going to the prisons. You know this, to drive 3 hours to speak for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then drive 3 or 4 hours back, 8 hours to speak for 10 minutes, but you know that your story might impact somebody's life? Powerful. Jimmy Jam, Elliot, and Gil, soldiers. Russell Neal, soldier. So I'm grateful, man. I got my, look what I got. What shirt I got on today? Hope dealer. I got my hope dealer shirt. I'm a hope dealer. Hope dealer. Hope. Helping other people every day. Hope dealer. I love you guys. Listen, I'm on Zoom. I'm doing a recovery coach training next in May. If you want to get your recovery coach certification, right? You want to be certified. You want to get a certificate as recovery coach. I'm doing a recovery coach in May, right? I got a leadership course for people in recovery. If you want to grow and learn leadership, that's a thing, right? I'm doing that course. We're going to Israel in March. We got the retreat in December. What else we got going on? We got the marriage conference, the men's retreat, the women's retreat. We got a lot of stuff happening. Reach out, inbox me. Let me know if you want to be a part of this. I'm on Zoom Sundays, Saturdays, Wednesdays. I'm going to be on Zoom 2 more days a week. I'm going to use Zoom more because we got people from all over the world that want to join us. You can visit rhow.org. rhow.org. If you want to get your recovery coach certificate, if you want to start your own coaching business, if you want to start a ministry, I got a kingdom-minded recovery coach for Christians. If you want to start a ministry, recovery ministry, addiction ministry, I'm doing a lot of different trainings. I'm working more with training people who are going to impact other lives. You know, I'm transitioning to more training and leadership development and ministry development, and I want to help the helpers. That's what I'm going to be doing. And, you know, I'm going into that. I love the streets. I love the homeless. I love being in the jails. I love being in the trenches. But I'm one person. If I can help 500 people, 5,000 people in this year, that I can help 10,000 people, you know, we call that compounded impact. All right. I love you guys. rhow.org. That's the Recovery House Worship website. You can email me at rayramoscoaching@gmail.com. rayramoscoaching@gmail.com. All right. I love you guys. God bless you. I'm praying for you. The devil's a liar. He don't want you to connect with God so that you can stay miserable, empty, unfulfilled, chasing. It don't got to be like that. You can have a relationship with the living God, Jesus Christ, Romans 10:9 and 10, Acts 1:12, John 3:16. And you can experience an incredible transformation like I've been experiencing. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. God bless.